happy Sunday and welcome back to my channel. This week we're going to be taking on a makeover. It's one that I've been kind of avoiding because it's going to be a bigger task, but I'm super excited to do it, and it's an area that we'll be able to get a ton of use out of in our home. So we are going to be making over our back porch area. You guys have seen our backyard a lot in my videos, but there's a section around the corner that is a back porch with like a little trellis area and seating and a grill that we made over a long time ago, but because we live in Florida, it's kind of just deteriorated over time, so it needs to be redone, and we're going to be tackling that. So if you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel so you can see more of my videos. I put out new videos every Sunday, and we're going to get right into our makeover. Alright guys, so behind me is the back porch area that we're going to be making over. This part right here is the area that you've already seen me make over in our backyard, but we have a little seating area back here that we're going to be tackling bit by bit. It is a bit of a bigger project just because, as you can see, it's kind of like a jungle back there. So I'm going to take it chunk by chunk over time. Instead of my traditional format of doing back-to-back videos in a makeover, I'll probably do some DIYs in between just to give myself a little bit more time to be able to get everything where I want it to be. I'm going to show you this back porch area. Just be prepared for the jump scare because it is rough back there. We have a lot of work to do to be able to get it back to what it was, and hopefully better than what it was, so that we'll be able to use this space. Right now what we have back here is a seating area with a grill. We have a little rug that's down, but it does need to be pressure washed and cleaned. Obviously the deck is rotting and falling apart. The weather here is really harsh on wood, so we're gonna completely tear up the deck and redo it. And it's also just become like a storage space for scrap wood and things that I want to make over, or things that we see people getting rid of that I think would be fun to do as a project. So it's kind of just like a junk area right now. So the goal is to move all of those things out and to put them into a storage bin so that they're out of the way and protected from the elements, and we're able to work in this space without all of the clutter. So that is going to be our first big task before we're able to tackle anything else in that space. Once we get everything out, I want to start ripping up the deck so that way we can get the wood, put in new boards, stain it, seal it, all that kind of stuff that takes more time, be able to get the bigger parts of the project done. I also want to look into some new covers for back here because we do have a trellis back here, and we had put a sailing tarp over it to protect from leaves and rain and things like that, so we could still be out here if the weather turns. But hurricanes have kind of just torn it up over time, so we're going to need to put something new up there or remove it until we can find something new that works. So I want to do some research into that as well. And while we're out here, I also want to change over our garage door lock to a smart lock. We swapped the lock out a while back because the door wasn't able to fully close. Now we're not able to lock the door. We don't have a key for that door. It's an old lock. It's like a vintage lock, so it's harder to get that all sorted out. So I'm just going to swap it to a smart lock so we can close it and lock it. That's where all of our tools are. That's where kind of like my workshop is. So I'd rather it be protected and everything secure inside there, so we're gonna do that as well. So we have a lot to do in this makeover. We're gonna just take it section by section and see how it goes. My goals for this week are to install the lock, tear up the deck, move out all of the clutter, and research for a cover for the top. That's what I'm hoping to do this week, and then we'll be able to go from there. So let's start moving all of the junk out of this space. Got all of the clutter moved moved out from the back deck area, the next thing I want to do is replace the lock on this door. This lock has just given us so many issues over the years. Even since we've updated the lock and put a new one on, we're now able to close the door, but we're not able to lock the door. So I'm just over it, and I want to update it and have it be one that we can control and lock and manage a lot easier. We're going to be changing that lock out, and a big thank you to our sponsor for this week's video, Veise, which is a smart lock brand. They have sent over a smart lock for our door that we're going to be using this week. I'm super excited about that. This lock is really cool. It's a 7-in-1 smart lock. You're able to unlock and access your space a lot of different ways, which is really convenient, especially if you have friends and family coming and going, or you're using it for like an Airbnb or something like that. You can really control and tailor how people have access to your space. And they also have different styles of locks. So the one that I'm going to be using is for a door that has one hole. So if you can see right here, all we have is just the knob on this door. We don't have a lock and a knob. So I'm going to be using the one that just is for one hole, and that way we're able to have control over the lock but also have a handle and not have to put a second hole into the door. They have others where it's more traditional with the lock and the handle, all different kinds. We're going to go ahead and install this and see how easy or difficult it is to install. I did watch an installation video that comes in the instruction guide, and it seems pretty straightforward, so hopefully it's pretty quick and easy, and then we'll be able to program it with the app and have it ready to go. So I'm really excited for that, and that way we can lock our garage and not have to worry when we're not here or when we're out of town that it's just wide open. Let's go ahead and grab the lock and we'll start removing the doorknob that we have right now. When your smart lock arrives, this is how it's going to look. It comes with an instruction manual, a little tool to tighten the doorknob, your actual doorknob and keypad, and then you also have the handle for the other side. It comes with a couple of key fobs to open the door, all of the tools that you will need as far as screws and faceplates and things like that, and 2 sets of keys, so it's super convenient. And I got the Veise VE019 version, and that allows you to install it with just one hole in your door, so you don't have to worry about adding a second hole if you don't have one. It was super simple to install. All you need to do is remove your current doorknob, taking off the faceplate here by just removing some screws, and then you pop the doorknob off, and you'll be able to kind of wiggle it and pull the doorknob off from there, and then remove the screws on the inside. And super easy, it just pops out. So now that we have our doorknob out, we can put in our new faceplate and lock. It's so much prettier. It's a matte black color. They also come in silver, and it just looks way sleeker and cleaner, and it also covers up a lot of the marks from when we had to like tape our door shut when our doorknob didn't work. And this is a 7-in-1 doorknob, so you're able to access entry to your space in a lot of different ways. You can do it through fingerprint, through the app, key code, or a master code. You can also do code sharing, so if you want to give people a specific code to them, you can do that. There's the access card, and you also have a traditional key. There's really no way that you're going to get locked out. It's also smart home compatible, so you can voice command it if you want to. And one of the really cool things about this is the key card that you get will work for any of their doorknobs in your home. So if you want to put one on your garage, on your front door, on a back door, you can use the same key card for all of them and not have to carry around like 4 key cards. This doorknob also has a 99% recognition accuracy. You're not going to have to keep putting your fingerprint on over and over or typing it in and having it misread it. It's super accurate. I've been using it for about a week now, and it has not had any issues recognizing my fingerprint or the code. It's so simple and easy to get in, and it also auto locks, which you can turn on or off, but I really like having it on because then I don't have to worry about remembering to lock the door. If you guys are interested in checking out Veise and their smart locks for your home, I will link all of their information below so you can check them out.
Verification successful.
Alright guys, so we are inside of the back deck sitting area. We've cleared it all out. We moved all the furniture out and all the junk that was in here and sorted it into keep and trash piles. We also have been spending the last couple evenings clearing out all the like jungle debris back here. It's probably a little bit hard to tell, but we cleared a ton. It was like, I don't even know, maybe like 10 contractor bags of leaves and branches and things that we cut down and cleared, kind of emptied out. There's still a little bit more that we need to do in getting like the leaves and debris and stuff off the ground, and we have a vine that's trying to take hold over here that we're gonna tackle, but we got a lot of it done. I'm really happy about that. We also pulled almost all of the old tarp from the roof, and we just need to get a ladder and climb up and do the last little bit so that when we find a new cover and it gets here, we can replace that and have it looking really nice. So what we need to do now is demo this deck. So I'm going to be tearing up the entire deck down to the foundation supports everything and starting from scratch because the whole thing is rotten at this point. It happens really fast in Florida. There's a lot of heat, a lot of rain, a lot of humidity, and things just tend to rot, especially wood. It's time to redo it. I'll show you what it's looking like and how rotten it actually is. And this happened in only just like a couple of years, but we literally have a wooden plank that we have to walk to get in and out. So we're gonna clear it all, and we also have a raccoon that comes by every day, which is not great. I'm pretty sure that it's trying to live under this deck, so I'm hoping that I don't find anything weird when I tear it up, because that would be a bummer. And yeah, we're gonna get a drill and just unscrew all of these screws and lift up the boards, and hopefully it'll be pretty quick and easy. It's the next day. It started raining yesterday, so I had to stop, but I'm actually happy about that because I got a good portion of the deck demoed. I would say about half, but I was definitely struggling using the sledgehammer. It was really difficult for me to get through the pieces of the wood that weren't as rotten, and not all of the screws will come up because they're just kind of stuck in the rotten wood. And then because the wood is rotten, it was really hard for me to use the crowbar, so I was having a lot of issues with getting the boards up. I went in and I researched how to tear a deck up, and I saw that a lot of people will cut the wood in between where the support beams are underneath it and the screws to break it up into smaller pieces, and then you only have to take out one set of screws rather than an entire board. So that's what I'm going to try today, and I'm going to cut it up with my jigsaw, and we're going to see if it's a little bit easier for me. Hopefully I'll be able to tear the boards up faster and it won't take as much effort. I'm hoping to get the rest of this deck torn up today so that we can get wood and start putting the new deck in for the next part of the makeover. We're gonna go ahead and try with the jigsaw and see how that goes. we've tackled the chore of demoing the back deck, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at some covers to go over the top like trellis portion or whatever you want to call that, so that we can have it be shady and you can sit out there if it's raining and all of those things to make it really comfortable and cozy out there. I've been looking around for a little bit now at different options and I think that I've found a pretty good one, so I'm going to show you guys what I plan on ordering, and it should get here in the next couple of weeks so that we'll be able to add that in for hopefully our next makeover video on the back porch. So that we can see what that looks like. Alright guys, well that wraps up this week's video. I hope that you enjoyed seeing the beginning of our back porch makeover. We got a lot done this week. I'm really excited with the progress we've made. Tearing down the deck was definitely a tough task, but we managed to make it happen, and so now we have a nice clean slate to be able to continue on and rebuild the deck and then do all of the fun elements like the decorating that I'm super excited for. I'm also really excited to add the cover to the roof. That's going to make such a huge difference and make it so enjoyable to sit out there. I think it's going to be really beautiful, so make sure to like and subscribe to the channel so that you do not miss out on any of the back porch makeover series. We'll have a part 2 coming out in the next week or two, and we'll be tackling a lot of the bigger elements like building the porch, reattaching the screening, all of the big pieces that are going to make such a huge difference in this project. And don't forget to check out Veise and their smart locks if you are on the market for a smart lock. They make some really great ones, and I have really enjoyed having that new addition to our garage and just the ease that it gives in coming and going and having the garage be secure. Definitely check them out. I'll link them in the description box for you guys. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next Sunday.